So, Nova characters, ones that are capable of dumping insane amounts of damage in 1 or 2 rounds. I'll be talking specifically about single target damage dealers, not your generic fireball evocation wizard AoE damage spell junkies. But before I continue unapologetically making a case for characters that last 6 to maybe 12 seconds, I'm proud to announce a new sponsor for this channel. Myself, or rather my D&D crew. Hi! We've started a new D&D channel where we upload our weekly D&D sessions. Full episodes, highlights, clips and shorts, all available on a daily upload schedule. Channel link is down in the description below. Subscribe and bang that bell to keep up with our exploits and our adventures. My impression is that Nova characters are often looked down upon by the 5th edition community because they're almost always very resource inefficient. While that is certainly a factor to consider at all times, in my opinion, assessing them as any less than characters that have very effective and efficient damage per round, or DPR as we call it, isn't rationally justifiable. Now, I'm completely biased towards my Sorkadins and other Supernova characters. I do prefer them over the DPR specialists, I fully admit that. So keep it in mind as I'm laying the case in this video. If anything, videos I made about these types of characters are very good at murdering the like, subscribe and bell icon buttons, so it's a win-win for me either way. You may sometimes hear me say things like Nova characters are the best healers, or Nova characters are the best combat controllers, or even Nova characters are the most versatile combatants. While these statements make little to no sense at face value, I will explain the meaning behind. When you consider how the enemy can defeat you, it usually involves some kind of superior damage output, debilitating control or deny effects, grinding you down through some kind of attrition or pressure, or just plain action economy overload. Special cases, circumstances and scenarios exist, but those are outliers that usually require creativity and out-of-the-box thinking by the DM, players, or both. Whenever you're able to quickly kill one or more enemies, preferably before they even get to do much or any harm, you are immediately shifting the scale and flow of combat in your party's favor. If the enemy deals you a lot of damage, killing it denies that damage from subsequent rounds. If the enemy constantly stuns, charms, or poisons you, killing it removes those negative conditions in the future. If the enemy is applying constant pressure or just has a whole lot of actions on their turns, removing them balances the combat flow and action economy. Damage is always the solution. It may not be, and often isn't, the best one, but it almost always works. Of course, if a 9th level hostile spellcaster casts invulnerability spell on themselves, you do have to look to your party's wizard, bard, or sorcerer to do something about that because you are dealing 0 damage, but in most other cases, you have the ability to severely diminish the threats you and your party are facing and do it in a very fast, very violent, and often very flashy way. Now, I'm not saying Nova characters are better than DPR characters. I think both general concepts have their place and their purpose in pretty much every party out there. But if my party doesn't have a big damage dumper, I often find myself longing for a Sorkadin or an Eldritch Knight or even a Sorlock capable of rolling a ton of damage in a round or two. Don't get me wrong, fireballs and lightning bolts and big dick damage AoE spells are always sick to see. They get the job done. However, when enemies' hit points get into triple-digit territory, I always find massive single target damage dealers a boon to have in any party. Let's imagine a party of 3 level 5 characters stuck in hell for whatever freaking reason. You have your level 5 Scribe Wizard with a Fireball and Lightning Bolt, a level 5 Sorkadin with Shadow Blade, Booming Blade and Quickened Meta Magic, and let's say a level 5 Twilight Cleric to deny some of the damage party takes. You're fighting against, let's say, 2 Barbed Devils, each at 110 hit points. This is a deadly encounter, but I'm quite confident this specific trio of player characters can pull it off with a high chance of success. Ignoring saving throw bonuses and probability percentages, I just can't be bothered micro-calculating those, and I frankly don't care, and on average, a Scribe Wizard will deal 14 to 28 lightning damage to both devils with some combination of Awakened spell feature and Fireball plus Lightning Bolt spells. A Twilight Cleric activates Spirit Guardians, dealing roughly 7 to 14 radiant or necrotic damage on average to both devils as well. However, devils attack too, and they deal on average 52 damage combined in round number 1, 104 damage in the second round and 156 in the third. Even with Twilight Cleric's Channel Divinity, ability. If one party mate takes most of that damage, they can fall down to 0 hit points very easily. And now for the sake of argument, I will assume only one of the devils failed a lightning ball or bolt dexterity saving throw, and both of them succeed on the wisdom saving throw against spirit guardians. I will estimate the total average damage done to around 35 on a more wounded devil, which puts that devil at 75 hit points left. So let's do the Sorkadin level 5 supernova damage. I will assume your DM was at least somewhat nice and let you pre-activate your Shadow Blade before the initiative roll. Now with your standard action, cast Booming Blade with your Shadow Blade. With your bonus action, you quicken your Booming Blade with the Shadow Blade again. Assuming both attacks hit without a crit, that's on average 78 damage dealt to the devil that had 75 hit points. That devil is now gone, unable to deal any more damage to any party mate ever, at least in this particular combat encounter. I don't know about you, but I do think that's pretty neat. The other devil can easily die to one more round of Divine Smites, Booming Blades, Lightning Balls, Bolts, Spirit Guardians, weapons. It's not that hard for the other devil to die in the second round as well. Down below, in the description of this video, I will link a couple of older videos where I talked about what I believe are solid Nova character concepts in D&D 5th edition. I'm sure there are better ones out there, but I've been told by a fair few people that these characters are strong, effective, and fun to play in combat, and also most of the time outside of the combat as well. So there's that. I'd be very thankful if you'd dump a few supernovas on those like, subscribe, and bell icon buttons down below. It always helps the channel and gives me another reason to get back and make more videos. If, for whatever reason, you'd like to read the script I wrote for this video, it is available as an article on my Patreon page under the Fireball tier. It's 100% optional, especially since I've just read it word for word in this video, but if you find the Patreon perks worth the trouble, worth your time, and worth your money, chuck a few bucks my way over there. With everything said and done, MinMax Munchking out. Talk to you soon.